Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning he's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's the 12th overall pick in April's draft, Jahmyr Gibbs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 30. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
3rd and 2, Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run with Montgomery. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Once more Montgomery, and not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Montgomery is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Riley Patterson now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man who rewrote Brett Favre's passing records at Southern Miss. It's Nick Mullins.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Mullins. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
A good play on the ball, getting a hand on it, but it was tipped up in the air before falling incomplete. And that leads to way too many moments where bad things can happen for a defense and good things can happen for an offense. And this is tough to teach in today's football because everyone wants to make a highlight play. Tip it up in the air, grab it yourself, take it the other way. But sometimes that can backfire. How do you teach these guys to just make the good, solid, fundamental play of knocking it to the ground and not trying to make a highlight reel play that could backfire?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And taken right on the 30. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Goff. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They run for the first time with Ty Chandler. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ty Chandler taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Gone. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. "7-7", our score after 1. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. St. Brown motioning left, and they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll fake the give. Now Goff. That is incomplete. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Goff. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, It looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Jack Fox now gets set to punt. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a 1st down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. To the sideline and incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. Chandler. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the 2nd half of this contest.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Here's Greg Joseph now to try the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Joseph is good, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Joseph now to kick this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Lions offense set to take over. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. St. Brown in motion right. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
A quick throw there out to Williams. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Second and 10. Now Goff. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. From the red zone now, Goff. Finding Williams once more, complete. And the Lions are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Throwing again is Goff. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Gibbs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Goff. There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Lions will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Cameron Sutton, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. Third quarter action ready to go. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
From the 25, here's second down and 7. Here's Chandler. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A yard, all they need, but it's third down. They'll drop to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Now a handoff to Chandler. And this will be a Vikings first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Mullins, and the throw here caught by Addison. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll set up to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Now Chandler. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
On 1st down, it's Chandler. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
So right now what I'm seeing an offense is just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Here's Chandler on 2nd down. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Joseph now to have the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. 2nd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. And this one nearly intercepted. Boy, that would have been a great time for their first pick. But instead, it's third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on third. Goff. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lob one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. Oh, the return is Powell. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jordan Addison in the offense out for another drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now,
oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
A good action to this point in the 3rd quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Goff. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
My,
Maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter. It's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Since emerging from the locker room at intermission, he's looked pretty sharp, hasn't he?
He's running in this third quarter like he got the orange slices at the half.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when we were kids?
He got the orange slices, not the carrot stick.
Oh, boy.
There was always that mom, wasn't there?
There's always that mom. Wasn't yours, wasn't mine. All right, the carrot sticks. But this guy, orange slices, and been reading the Surface tablet, watching the defenses, and he's made some nice adjustments.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Chandler, and he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Here's 2nd and 8. Addison hauls it in. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 37. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. He'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Complete to Addison on the out route. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Back to throw again. And it'll be intercepted. And the Lions are right back in this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
So here come the Lions now. A golden opportunity for them now following the interception. They need to try to at least get 3. Obviously, a touchdown puts them in a much more secure position. Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Let's go, man. Let's be smart.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Gone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Now a 2nd and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. He's got it to Williams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 23. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
The defense has been on the field a long time now, and after a run like that, they've got to feel like they're almost on roller skates and getting pushed backwards on just about every snap.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Goff. This to Laporta, right side. And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. And off comes to Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Goff now looks to throw. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a one-score game. Now Goff. And in for the Lions touchdown. Sam Laporta, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Lions put together a 4th quarter drive to take the lead.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down 21-17. A minute 52 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Drops this underneath for Chandler. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Here's a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's the downside of taking these big shots because they're definitely lower percentage plays. And now you look up and it's 4th down. So not only do you have to worry about getting big yardage, you also need to just keep the game alive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Oh, man. They are living on the razor's edge. If this is incomplete, this game's over. Instead, it's a huge pickup. And I think the win percentage calculator is going to have to work overtime here because this game has really had some swings.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. He'll look to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
This is 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He'll find Osborne here. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd down. He's back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Lions have just about sewn up this football game. Just when you thought this game might be turned on its ear, a late interception pretty much going to seal the deal.
Yeah, boy, talk about having your backs to the wall. This defense, they look like they were in danger of surrendering this lead, but they knew they needed that one play, and they got it right there, partner.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Second and 11 now. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he will have a Lions first down, and that's the one that should seal a victory. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.